Okay, guys, so like I say, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Melanie Brooks. On social media and on my webpage, on my website, you will need to find me under Melanie J. Brooks. I'm a creative product strategist, and I'm going to talk to you about what exactly that means. So, before we start, I want you to switch off Facebook. I know it's tough. I know how tough it is, but switch it off. Give yourself permission to have this time. This time is for you. It's for you and for your business, for all those ideas that you've got going on. You need to give yourself this time. There's lots and lots of amazing content. That way you can focus. You can make sure you get every single bit of it. And at the end, you can ask any questions that I've not covered, but I think I think everything will be answered as we go through it. If you like what you see, I'm going to be showing you how we can work together as well. So I've got some amazing bonuses, I've got some amazing content, and I want you to tell me, as we're going through, I want you to talk to me, guys. I want this to be really super interactive. So my mission, let's get started. My mission, I want to help fabulous females. I want you to grow multidimensional businesses, because then I can share my unique knowledge of the buying cycle that retailers follow to grow huge brands. Why? Because I believe every one of us is a multidimensional being. We're not one-dimensional, you know, and why should our businesses be? I've been in a place where I've been with one business, and actually when I've opened up income streams and created multiple income streams, it's when I've been feeling my most positive, when I've been at my best, when I've been feeling the most secure in my business, and I want to show you how you can do that as well. The other side of that is successful leaders all believe in multiple income streams. Go and look at the people that you aspire to be. They have multiple income streams, and they know and understand that it's vital to any business. And I'm bringing something new to the table. You know, this is something that isn't out there. I know what I do. I normally work, and again, I'm going to cover a little bit about what I do. The work that I do now, I do consultancy work for retail brands. So what I'm going to go through now is what happens in the corporate world, but it's not out there online for female entrepreneurs, and I want to change that dynamic because I want you to benefit from it. So who am I? Well, I'm a career mummy. I would describe myself as a career mummy. My husband would describe me as a career mummy. My friends would. I've been in my career 20 years, and actually when I started adding that up, it was a little bit crazy because I thought I'd got the numbers wrong. It flew by. It has flew by, and it was quite funny as well. A colleague I'm working alongside on a separate project quite recently messaged me to say, "Are you adding our time up that we've been in the industry? Are you adding that together to get that 20 years?" I was like, "No, that is how long I have been in the retail buying industry. I've been in fashion buying for 20 years. It's crazy." And you know what? When I look back at that journey, it's been amazing, and the industry has changed so much. So what you're getting is you're getting a full rounded picture with what I'm going to share with you. What I'm going to share with you from a full rounded picture of different ways of working within the retail industry as well. So I've just put some of the big players on there that you may recognise that I've worked for. My last position was at Boohoo. I was there for 6 years. I headed up the buying team, and we took it from an online unknown brand. We weren't really a brand. We were just selling clothing online. But we had a big vision. We had a huge vision, and actually myself and my colleagues and my peers and the owners of the company, we worked extremely hard over those 6 years to make changes. My role was running the mini businesses within businesses, which is where that business knowledge comes from. I launched the ranges, I sourced the ranges, I created them, I worked with a team of buyers, which we didn't have a buying team when I first stepped into the business, and literally grew that business. And when, I think it was a couple of years before I left quite recently because I was wanting to concentrate on different ventures. It was my time to move out of the employment world into the entrepreneurial world full time. And when, just as I was leaving, we floated on the stock market. So the company had gone from privately owned to public, and we sold that company for 240 million. And I remember the days of being in a small office with a handful of us, thinking of the big vision about what we could do with products and how we could create a brand and how we were going to serve our customers, and all that bit of skill and all of that bit of knowledge and every bit of experience is what I bring to the table, and I'm going to share some of that this evening with you. I've travelled the world because I've sourced directly most of my career. I've been in magazines as well. I always feel a little bit awkward. It's not the highlight of what I do, but it is part of what I do, and it's spreading the word and sharing, because people want to know. They want to know about fashion. They want to know about buying. They think it's a glamorous lifestyle. So it's always good for a magazine article. So I'll pop that in there for you to take a look at. Why do I do all that? Because this is my world. So I have 3 children. At the time I was in my career, I had 2. Margot, our latest addition, has been whilst I've been on my entrepreneurial journey over the last 3 years. And everything I do is for them. So I'm sure a little bit later we'll talk about your why and why you want to get your business up and running and what you want to do. And these guys are why I do what I do, alongside being very, very passionate about products, which I'm sure you will get the feel for as we move through this training this evening. Wanted to share a little bit about my entrepreneurial journey, because you know what, it's not always straightforward, and I've had some really lovely messages, and some messages say they're stuck, or they're feeling overwhelmed, or I'm not really sure where to start, and I was starting this and now I'm doing this. And you know what, it's okay, guys, because part of our journey is growing and understanding, stepping into our power. We've all got superpowers, so it's about stepping into our power. I transitioned from full-time employment. I built up a 6-figure business around the full-time corporate role in buying, because I wanted to create security as I stepped out of it. What it did was it opened the doors to coaching, and that's the bit I absolutely love, coaching and mentoring and being able to help other people. And that's what I did. I helped females create their own businesses from the comfort of their own homes. I helped them achieve their goals, whether that was those extra holidays or leaving their employment, and I absolutely loved it. But I was completely out of alignment, and it might sound a bit crazy, but money isn't everything. You've got to feel completed in every single way. And you know what, much as I love my network marketing business, I was missing product badly. I'd been used to creating product, sourcing product, I'd been used to developing, I'd been used to launching, I'd been used to running businesses, project management, and I just missed it so much. And that was at the point where actually I realised that I was missing something. And I was also seeing a huge gap in the market. So just let me know if you're on here this evening, if there's any service-based entrepreneurs. So is there any coaches, bloggers? Let me know if you're a blogger. Let me know if you're a fitness coach. Let me know if you're a success coach. Let me know if you have a service-based business. Because there's a massive, massive, massive gap in the market. So let me know, guys. Just pop a yes or why. And I can start looking at the comments. If you have been through my video series where I was sharing why it's a no-brainer, if you are a service-based entrepreneur, why it's a no-brainer to launch product in your business. Part of this is because I was watching some of the leaders in the industry start to bring products into their service-based businesses. They were recognizing that there's a gap. The reason why there's a gap is because if you've got a following, if you've got a tribe, then you've already got somewhere to market your products to. And that is part of the strategy buyers use when they're looking at whether products are viable. So there's a huge, huge gap in the market. Now, if you're on here and you haven't got an email list, you haven't got a following, you don't yet have a group, that's okay. Because everything I'm going to share from now on fits all areas. So this is for you if you want to launch a product, whether you've got a tribe or not. But I just want to share with you how big that space is and how, you know, like I say, the leaders are there, they're already starting to introduce those products, and it's time now to really get going and make yourself stand out from the crowd and create that multi-dimensional business I was speaking about. You know, now is the time to start building. So what are we going to cover that's relevant to your business? We're going to cover the mistakes I see entrepreneurs making when launching products. We're going to talk about sourcing. It's a hot topic. And this is the one where I've had emails, I've had messages. I'm hearing you. You want to know how to source. So I'm going to cover the different types of sourcing because we need to start at the beginning on this one, guys. Powerful steps to launching successfully. Okay, I'm gonna just switch my webcam off because I don't want to distract you. So my powerful steps to launching successfully. So I want you to have the steps that I took, the steps that I coach, the steps that I work with to launch products successfully. So the #1 mistakes that I see entrepreneurs making when they are launching products is their focus is on the end part of the process. And that's usually because they don't know the beginning part of the process, which is what I'm here to share with you. So I'm here to share what it looks like. So what happens? People choose a product they love. Yeah, if you choose a product they love, then everyone's going to want it, right? Or they assume their audience will love it. Again, let me know, guys, is this you? Have you picked a product based on what you love or what you think your audience would love? Let me know. There's no right or wrong, just let me know. Product viability. They don't know if there's their product they've chosen is viable. They don't know if there's a demand for it. They love it, they like it, they've not done the research to check whether it's a product that's there in the right season or at the right time or it's on trend. And that's not just with clothing, that's any product. And they don't understand total costs, so the costs that make their products profitable. Because if you don't do that at the beginning, you're going to get later down the line and you're going to realise your product isn't profitable. So you're going to be putting all that work in and it's just not going to give you the income that you want. What it looks like to launch a product profitably at the beginning. So that whole market research piece that has to happen at the beginning. This is what we do as buyers. It's about clarity on your business, on your lifestyle, on your vision of your why. It's understanding what you are doing and why you're doing it. It's about understanding product viability. I'm going to share with you a little bit later how you check that and what you can do and the things you can do to make that that transition from just having a product you really love to something that you're going to know somebody's going to want to buy. You need to know your audience or your potential audience inside out, guys. You have got to know them inside out. You can't just decide for them. You can't think, well, I'm part of the people I'm going to appeal to, so something I like or something I want, and assume that your whole network is going to want the same thing. So you've got to know. And again, I'm going to share with you some ways that we do that. Competition. Understanding your competition. This is one of the things that trips up people when they're launching products. They might say, yeah, I know my competition is, I have conversations, and it's Nike or it's Boohoo, for example. And my questions are, what's their offering? What's their good, better, best? What's their value? How do they speak? How do they engage? Why are people buying from them? And they're all the questions you have to know to be able to understand your competition and stand there in that marketplace as a competitor yourself. All of that research will then allow you to define your unique selling proposition. You need to have your unique selling proposition, because what this does at this beginning point, once you have that, later down the line when you do come to your social media and your marketing strategies, you're going to use that. You're going to use that to share and appeal and to target the people that are going to want your products. Who's with me, guys? Does this all make sense? I just want to let me know if it makes sense, because I want to make sure you're getting enough value. And if anybody's got any questions along the way, then please let me know. So let's have a look, see if we've got any questions here. Yep. So I'm getting lots of yeses. Yeah, Denise, I love Stephanie Bellinger as well. She is part of the wave that's coming over to the UK. It's exciting. Yeah, total sense. Okay, sure does. Yeah, okay, great. I always struggle to find my USP. Okay, the struggle can come by not ticking off those earlier processes. So if you're not ticking off the earlier processes, Stacey, you'll get to a point where you're just you're looking at something and kind of trying to make something fit. Your unique selling proposition it becomes easier when you've ticked off and fully understand your competition, because when you fully understand your competition and you know what their offering is and why it engages their customers and why people buy them, we have things in the industry that we call good, better, best. So every retailer will work to something very similar, where they'll have entry price points to exit price points, and they'll offer different value within each of them products. And it's understanding things like that, because once you start to understand the dynamics of all of that, along with your audience, what they want, whether it's a need product for your audience, is it I want product for your audience, or is it just one of those products that your audience is just going to love and they've got to have it. All those three are different. You're going to communicate very differently if somebody really needs something in their life to make it better, or to make them feel better, or to solve a problem. It's very different from somebody who is purchasing on the basis of something that's going to make them feel really good, because there's different ways we purchase. So understanding all those points will get you to your unique selling proposition. So it is there, you will have it, it's just doing a little bit of work in the beginning to be able to pull that out, and once you've got it, it makes the next part of what we're going to talk about so much easier. So this is just the first part, but if you get this right, if you get the market research right, if you get the right questions asked, if you do the research in the right places, you will grow a successful product business. And I know that because these are the stages that I took, launching thousands and thousands of products. If you do this wrong, if you skip out this section, and it's really common for people to go, well, you know what, it feels like a little bit like I'm not really sure what I'm doing, or I don't know how to do it, I'm going to just leave that alone, I'm going to move on to the next stage and I'm going to focus on that. You will hear crickets when you launch your products, and you're going to be wasting your money, guys. And that is the last thing we want you to do. We don't want you wasting money. We want you to be investing so that you can get a return. You can get a return. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm getting questions. I want to make sure I'm answering them as going along. You can launch your service and your product at the same time, Tracy. You can launch them product first or service first. It doesn't really matter. It's about understanding the bigger business picture. So it goes again right back to the beginning of your business clarity. What is it you want to achieve? Who's your audience? Understanding all those touch points will start to allow you to then make decisions about how you launch, when you launch, and what you do. So yeah, there's no right or wrong way, and every business is different, and that's the great thing, isn't it? We can all be multi-dimensional, we can offer something unique, but it's about going through this same process to get to the right questions, to give you the right answers, to be able to get that success coming through your business. So guys, give me a yes or give me a no. Is there anyone who has completed extensive market research on the idea they've got, or maybe a product you've already launched, or is this something that's completely new? Is this giving you a different perspective to launching your products? Let me know. Because, like I say, I see lots and lots of entrepreneurs missing out or skipping parts of this stage, and it really does make a massive difference. There was, some of the budgets that I would be running were up to 60 million for smaller departments. There was no way I was gonna let my team, or the chief exec was gonna let me skip this part, because it's vital. So that's why I know it doesn't matter how big your business is, how the investment, whether it's small or big, you have to make sure you go through this process, and that's the important thing of it. Buyers always do it. So let me know, guys, has anybody done any extensive market research, or is this something that I'm sharing with you that's completely new, and is this something that's helpful to you? So we're on to sourcing. I know this is a hot topic. Quite a few of you have asked about this, and I wanted to start with the different types of sourcing, because sometimes I'll get questions, and it's understanding the terminology for you to be able to move forward and source in the right way. So there's different ways you can source, and there's different ways you can build a business, product business. And I've just put 4 down here, but retail arbitrage, it's the simplest way. I call this trading. In the industry, it's what we call trading. So this is where you would go to a low value store, or you would get bulk product like you would buy from, say, Walmart in America. I'm giving you, a rough example here, but you'd go to Walmart in America, or you'd be out there. You would then recognize that, for example, Walmart have got a range of Frozen in, the children's Disney characters. They've got a range of Frozen in. It's not available, or it's out of stock in the UK, or it's in demand in the UK. You retail it on the likes of eBay or Amazon or your own website, because this is what you do, and you sell it at a higher markup and you take the profit. The great thing about this is, if you love trading, if you love getting deals, if you love rummaging, if you love making sure you've got your eye on everything, then it's a great way to earn an income, because you can earn income quite fast. However, it's not something that's going to give you a stable income off one product. You're going to have to keep changing it, and you've got to really have that trading mentality within you. So this wasn't my thing. It wasn't something I stepped into within the buying circuit, because it just didn't appeal. But it is one of those things that's out there that I wanted to share with you. Wholesalers carry stocks. So if you want to go along and buy 10 pieces, 20 pieces, there'll be different levels you can buy, but you can go out and buy stocks from wholesalers. It's a great way to test. However, this isn't your product. They're going to sell to lots and lots and lots of people. The other thing with this is you can't choose your colours, you can't choose your sizing. I'm going to use clothing as an example, but it's relevant whether it's whatever wholesale product you decide to buy. But if you've got a colour in there or a size 12 that doesn't sell for your customer base, usually you're buying packs. So you would still have to buy the products or the packs or the sizes that don't work for you. So that's one of the downsides of buying from wholesalers. But again, it's still a credible way to build a business. It's just not going to be your labeling. It's not going to be your branding. And what we're talking about here today is how we can private label and launch personally branded products, because this is all about strengthening your business. It's about strengthening, giving your business and your brand a new dynamic. So for me, manufacturing, we call it private label or white label. You might have heard that terminology before. And this is where you're going to have your products manufactured for you. I'll give you an example, a couple of different examples of private label. If you are a fitness coach, if you are in the well-being industry, if you're in holistic, you can create, you can order products, supplements, skincare, and have that product put into a bottle with your labeling on. There is lots and lots and lots of products that you will be buying that you are thinking you are investing in a brand that's unique to them, when actually it's white label, private label product. The difference, the reason why you're buying it from that particular brand, is because that brand has spoken to you via their communication, via their colours, via their feel, via their vibe. It's the same product. It's going to be the same product inside. I'll give you an example, completely going off skincare and supplements, but Grey Goose vodka. It's the same vodka that's in Costco at half the price. It comes off the same production run, it's just packaged differently. And it happens throughout the industry. There's very limited where it's purely manufactured for that label. I've seen it in factories in China where Calvin Klein jeans have come off the factory floor the same time as Matalan jeans. So, with paper labels, guys. But this is where you can create something that's personal to you, for you, and this is where there's a massive, massive potential. it's so, so exciting because people buy from you. You know, they want what you've got and your brand and everything else. So this is a really, really exciting opportunity. So let's see what else we've got. So I just want to answer the questions as we're going along. Okay, Tracy, I'll come back to that. I'll answer that once we've gone through a few things. We're going to do question and answers at the end anyway, and I will answer some of your questions. So dropshipping. Dropshipping is a way you can launch your website. You can partner up with different suppliers, with different drop shipping suppliers. You put the product images on your website. You don't hold inventory. You don't have a choice in terms of labeling what that product looks like or anything like that, but you get the pictures. You promote your website. You do all of the strategies around it. You build the website. When the order comes in, that order comes via your website, goes directly to the manufacturer or the supplier, and they ship the goods for you. So drop shipping is a way to, again, build a retail business. It's not my favorite way, but it's definitely an option. But like I say, we're all here for that manufacturer private label today, but they're the different ideas of sourcing that you can do. Does that help, guys? Does that answer some of your questions? So want to share, let me know, keep the questions coming, keep letting me know that this is useful and I'm on the right track with making sure I'm answering all of your queries. What people do wrong when it comes to sourcing? So they don't order samples. I'll be honest, I had a huge list when it comes to sourcing, but I don't want to overwhelm you, and I wanted to share the main things, the easy wins that can make a difference in your business. So they don't order samples. Again, this is usually about speed. They've seen something, they think it's going to be exactly how they want it, and they go off and order their product, and it's not quite right. You've got to have samples, guys. I'll give you a little bit of a story, a brief one. When I was at Matalan in the very, very early days of buying, I'd worked with a supplier before. I assumed they understood what I meant. I'd had a phone conversation. I'd skipped the part of approving the sample care label that goes in a garment. And it wasn't until I got a call from the warehouse warehouse phoned me and said, have you signed this care label off? There's a problem. And the 3,000 waterproof jackets that had arrived in the warehouse had a care label saying, do not get wet. Completely my fault, and that was one of my biggest early lessons, how we have to follow the process. The buying process is there to make sure we create profitable products and launch them successfully. So that was my fingers burned very, very early on, but one that I wouldn't make again. People think you've got to invest in large quantities, or they go off and buy big quantities without looking at how they can leverage that income, that finance into different areas rather than just in one big product. So this can be quite scary, guys, because it's, you know, you want that cash flow to keep coming. So understanding what you can buy, how long it's going to serve you, how long it's going to be in stock for, really important measures to know, or at least have a guide of, rather than just buying bigger quantities. Not understanding shipping and fulfillment costs. I don't know if any of you thought about how you are going to serve your clients, your customers with your products, because let me tell you, the last thing you want to be doing as entrepreneurs is running up and down to the post office. So we need to understand fulfillment costs. We also want to know how we're going to get the product shipped from A to B. So from where you are manufacturing them to where you're going to distribute them. So it's something that people forget about, and they order the products and they end up with a bedroom full of stock or garage full of stock, and it just doesn't work. If you're going to build a successful business, we've got to have some real strategies in place, and actually we can do this. It doesn't matter whether you are a sole trader just starting out, ready to launch a product, whether you're a service-based entrepreneur. There is easy wins to work around your shipping and your fulfillment costs. So how do we get it right? Expert tips on getting it right. You need to select 8 to 10 suppliers. You want to have that amount to start with for your product or product range, because you want to be able to measure which suppliers are the right ones to work with. The easy steps I would take is that if you've got a product that you know is the exact product, you've designed it, you've had somebody design it, and you want to send it out to suppliers for costing, then please do that. Other than that, I would ask them to review their catalogue ranges. Then cost similar product styles across the 8 to 10 suppliers. Because what you are going to do then, this is before you make any decisions on sampling, who you're going to work with, and again, this is where people rush it and they end up further down the line with the wrong supplier. You want to measure the price. Cheapest price isn't always the best. You want to communicate, you want to understand, can you communicate with the supplier in a way that's going to work for you? You might have the best supplier who's got a really high rating, however, you're a little fish in a big pond because they've got huge orders coming in, and you're going to get pushed to the back of that production line because they'll get fined off these big players. You will start to know that as you start communicating, asking them questions, and I have templates that I work with all done so that it's easy to be able to correspond with them. By having those conversations, you'll start to see who you can communicate and talk to. You want to be looking at minimum quantities, guys. What's the minimum they can do and why? Because you can then start to understand what you can buy into. And flexibility, how flexible are they? You know, how flexible are they about accommodating colours for you, packaging, when you ask them questions around the best way to ship it, the best way to pack it. So you're looking for a full rounded picture and to narrow that supplier selection down. And obviously you want to make sure you've got like a sample request in there. It's not just one. Again, with sample requests, you want to go through a process. In retail terms, we have something called, it's called different things, but gold, yellow, red, gold, yellow, I think we called it, and it's basically a sealing process. Some products you can narrow that right down. If you're going into clothing, you need to have quite a stringent sample process because sizing is key. You've got to get that makeup and that sizing key. But it's, again, with the right tools and the right process and knowing how to ask, then it's completely doable. But I want to bring it to your attention because not everybody is aware. Not everybody is aware. Thank you, Denise. So Denise is finding this content amazing. I love that. I hope it's useful. Let's have a look who else we've got. Yeah, Tracy, yeah, keep your ideas to yourself. Obviously share them with me, but you're right, keep your ideas to yourself because you want to be able to get all of this back office work done, all this research, all this understanding about your business before you go out there and talk about it. You don't need to yet. You know, there's a process in place. You don't need to launch your product or your product idea yet. So if you get this right, if you get sourcing right, you're going to build a successful business. We've got a bit of a theme going on here, guys. If you get it wrong, you're going to spend time and money. You're also going to not be able to move forward with your business, especially if you've had to invest too much. And that is exactly what we don't want. So, any big questions about sourcing, guys? Now is the time to message me. Let me know. What don't you understand? What do you need to know? I know there's some fear around where to source from. Ask me those questions. Get your questions in around sourcing. It's really important we get them answered and get that ticked off for you to allow you to be moving forward. Get them questions in, guys. I want to make sure I'm capturing everything. Let's have a look. Yeah, okay, I'll come back to that one. What's that one? Are you finding this useful? Denise says, let me know. Just let me know if you're finding this useful, guys, and it's what you was expecting. Okay, so good question. Stacey's asking, how do sites like Alibaba work? Are they safe? Like anything, yes, they are safe, but you need to know what to look for. And you need to be looking for trade assurance. You need to be able to correspond with them in the right way. And it also depends on your product, Stacey, as well. There's certain products I wouldn't source from China. Any kind of skincare, any kind of supplements you're going to digest, anything like that, I would be looking at America. You've got to think about UK laws or European laws or American laws, even Chinese laws. They're all very, very different, and we want to make sure that we're getting products from the places where we're going to have the most ease in being able to get them import them and get them to our audience. Plus, we don't want to obviously cause anybody any damage, so there's certain places that we go for certain products, which is exactly what I work through when we're working with clients on one-on-one. It's making sure the sourcing plan fits what their products are, because there's so many different options, whether it's India, whether it's China, whether it's UK, whether it's America. There's just so many options. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Tracy's loving it. Yes, you absolutely can, Emma. Stay on to the end, because the end you're asking. What you're asking is, yes, you will have a look at the end, and then we'll set something up. It'll make sense in a minute. Kirsty, brilliant, perfect. We're on the right track, and that's what we want. Okay, so launching, guys. That number 3, what we said we was going to cover, was about launching. When launching goes wrong, if you have got a service-based business, you will know a little bit about this, because you know what? To be honest, other than the technical processes, launching a service-based products or course or a coaching program is very, very similar to launching a product. When launching goes wrong, it's because there's no list to launch to. You've got to have a list, guys. Product or service, it doesn't matter. You've got to have a list. No launch plan. There's no plan of how you're going to get it out there, how you're going to talk about it, how you're going to share it, what strategy you've got behind it. It's the same with product. You have to have a launch plan. And there's no understanding of competition. This is a biggie, and it's their competition as well as where they're positioned in the marketplace. 5 powerful steps to successfully launch. Now, these have lovingly been pulled together to make it easy for you, because I know sometimes it can feel overwhelming. I know that, you know, when launching products, people can feel really, really worried and a little bit overwhelming, and that's the last thing I want you to do. I want you to see how exciting it is. Is anyone excited? You know, when I talk about launching products, I'll be onto my suppliers, because I launch my own products as well. So okay, Denise. Right, I'll come back to that, Denise. So my 5 powerful steps, they're powerful because I've used these for 20 years in mini businesses, in corporate brands, and it works. So clarity, you've got to have clarity on your business lifestyle vision, your why, what is going to make you feel the fear and do it anyway. If you've not read that book, you need to. Product viability, know your audience, potential clients inside out, competition, define your unique selling proposition. So everything that we have learned, everything that we have been through in this training, this is ultimately where it gets you to. So this is the point where you know that if you can tick these boxes with everything we've been through, you're going to start to be in a position where you can launch profitable products, and that's exactly what we want. So if you get it right, guys, you're going to build a successful business. If you get it wrong, you've got to spend time and money, and that's the last thing we want to do. I want you to break free from fear. I want you to break free from overwhelm. I want you to break free from how to get started, and I want you to move forward. I also want you to have belief. I want you to break free from that lack of belief. So just let me know, guys, if there's any, because I know some of you have been messaging me and talking to me. Let me know if there's a fear or an overwhelm, or you're just not sure how to get started, and that's what's stopping you moving forward. Let me know with a yes or a why, or just pop it in the comments. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk you through what I can bring to the table. I'm going to talk you through what that looks like. So strategic business planning, because when we launch a product, it's got to look at the whole picture, which it's not just your products, it can be your service-based businesses, or it can be your brand if you are just a sole product business owner. Coaching and mentoring, so not just being able to launch products, but being able to coach and mentor. So that skill set coming together, which isn't out there. You know, I said it at the beginning, it's not out there, and that's why so many people are struggling launching products. Accountability. One of the biggest things I have got from my coach, I invested in my coach, is accountability. Because how many times do we stop ourselves from doing something? How many times do we say we're going to do something at the beginning of the week, and by the end of the week we've tied ourselves in knots, we've talked ourselves out of it, and we've actually not took the right action? And that's exactly what I'm able to bring to the table, combined with all those other elements. And de-risking your product launches, because understanding the buying cycle, knowing where to source from, knowing how to ship, knowing how to fulfill, so that it's time efficient and not your time, so you're not running back and forward to the post office. It's your time to be able to spend the time in your business or in the lifestyle you want without having to be worried about all the niggles within a product-based business. So all of that comes together as a full multi-dimensional solution with the easy steps to follow. So I'm going to share the easy steps, because that's one of the things that I put out. We've got a group, guys. If you're not in the group, you need to get in it. But one of the things I put in the group and what got ticked a lot was around having easy to follow steps to getting your product launched. So here we go, guys. We're going to launch that product baby. Your product business goals, they are key. Finding the perfect product for you, because it's got to be about you, but you've got to have some passion for it. You've got to love it. It's not the only thing that defines your final selection, but you've got to have a starting point. And sometimes you can have that many ideas, you're not sure what to start with first. We're going to define your perfect audience. If you've already got an audience, what we would do is we would work with them. We will get underneath them. So by the end, when you're ready to launch, they cannot wait to get their hands on it. And if you're just starting out, guys, if you've not launched your products yet, then we're going to work with you to build a list. So we're going to show you exactly how to do that and the process we take to be able to pull it all together and launch like a professional. Product viability testing. There's some real secrets around how we do this. So how I test the product viability, and I will share them with you. But it's about making sure that we've got an understanding of whether there's a demand. You can use Google keywords, you can use Google AdWords, you can use the likes of Amazon, you can use some of the big players in your product industry. You can use them to measure the demand of product so that you can make sure there's something there and you're not just picking a product that's not going to give you much return. Competition is the competition time, and this is where we start looking at your competitors. Benchmarking, range mapping is something we did as buyers weekly. It wasn't an exercise we did once, we did it weekly. We went out, we benchmarked, we range mapped. From that, we was able to pull out, if we was launching products, unique product propositions. We would also use it to scale up businesses. We would also use it to add new ranges in. So all of this is scalable so that it allows you to keep adding new products into your business. It's not about a one-hit wonder. It's not about giving it a go. It's about building sustainable income and being able to scale up in a really easy way. Sourcing, we look for the suppliers that suit you. We work with the documents I've got, so again, the templates in how to contact suppliers, what to ask for, how to say, breaking down the shipping terms, looking at all the different options of fulfillment, looking at the full package and coming up with the numbers. So what are the numbers behind your product, so you know when you go live what product profit you're going to make and how many you need to sell to get to the profits you want. We're going to look at branding, website, Facebook ads, how to create Facebook ads that give you leads that aren't £8, $10, that they're actually really, really efficient Facebook ads with tools that I use to get amazing results, to grow your audience and your targeted audience with your products. So how do I do that? Well, it's a creative coaching personalized package. This is for you if you are a business owner, you want to start a product-based business, you are a service-based entrepreneur ready to launch products, or you want to create a service-based and product-based business together and you're pulling it all together. That you're feeling stuck and want someone to answer your questions when they come up, want the intensive hand-holding with a new BFF. You're basically going to get a new best friend because it's about getting results. I am results-driven. You get 12 one-to-one calls over 3 months. Those calls can be weekly, but you know what? If there's times where this sourcing is the thing that we're coming up against and you want more support around sourcing, then we get 2 calls in 1 week. There's going to be email access for when you need that extra support, workbooks, the tools that I used within the industry, the spreadsheet, the range mapping documents, the benchmarking tools, everything from end to end, so you can do the work that needs to be done in the right way. Now, the coaching package that I've got normally works at it's at 1,795. For 1 week only, I am offering a 1,395, and there is payment plans available, guys, as well. But what I wanted to share with you guys that are on the call tonight, I spoke to my coach earlier and shared this with her, and she thought it was absolutely insane. Because I am, you know, I'm getting pretty booked up, but I know that to make 2018 amazing, and actually there's time to actually still launch a product before Christmas, I want to be able to give you guys the best shot, because now's the time to start working on those goals and making sure 2018 is exactly where you want it. So I have two spaces with a limited time offer of $895. Once they've gone, guys. I was going to run it as a course because I've been having lots of questions around a course, but at the minute I'm fully booked. I'm getting fully booked, so I want to be able to work with my one-on-one clients and have the space to be able to give everybody my full undivided attention to make sure that we launch successfully. So we've got two spaces. That is all, guys. I'm going to share the links in the groups, and I'll share them later as well. So any questions? The other thing, guys, I'm giving you is a free 15-minute feedback on your product ideas, so you can get your discovery call booked, and we can I can share with you my expertise on your product ideas, so we can do that. And I'll share the links. You're all in contact with me on my email and in the group, so that we can really get underneath your products and make sure your products are the right for the marketplace. So let's have a look at some of the questions, guys. Because what I want to do is I want to stop your head spinning. I want you to allow you to take action and launch that product, baby. I've got a launch myself, a product launch coming up, and it's just so exciting. I love it, absolutely love it. So let's get some of these questions answered, guys. Okay, so we've got some, I'm not going to say names because, again, we want to keep your products and your ideas exclusively to you. But, yeah, there's absolutely ways to source design and print. And there's different ways to do it. You know what? I'll give you the simplest way. If if you're not working with me and I'm giving you my best insights, being able to do it live in front of with lots of you here, Google is your best friend. I do have someone who could design and okay. If you're going to design and print, the designers, you can invest in designers. I do know some designers. I would need to understand what type of designs you were looking for, because designers usually have a particular handwriting. So we can look at that. Then yes, there's designers and prints. Once you've got your design, what we do with the design is you make it so we decide what type of print you want, so that you can print onto those products. So yes, all of the things you are asking are absolutely achievable, and we can definitely work through that. So yes, is the short answer to that. Okay, Stacey, what I want you to do is I want you to look at it. Trust me, there is so many different ideas that we can come up with. So many. What field are you in, Stacey? Tell me what industry you're in. You know, what can happen with products? The product idea generator, I don't know if anybody's had that free opt-in yet, but part of that forms part of that strategy I was just talking about. I'm just going to flick back. But this bit, your product business goals and finding the perfect product for you, will use it's not just about looking at the industry in itself. We look at the wider picture, because ultimately we're all, as I've said, multidimensional beings. We all have uniqueness about us and about our businesses. And when we've got an understanding of your brand and where you want to go and your vision, products we get those creative juices flowing, and there's so many different products. Trust me, there's so many different products. What you've got to do is don't look left, don't look right, get them blinkers on, and it's a focus on your business and not anybody else's. And if they're all selling their same thing, then do something different. Do something different. So, yeah, you know what? Fear comes up massively. Fear comes up massively. You know, I remember investing in my first coach, and a lot of the questions that's one of the questions that what came up for me, and it was completely the wrong mindset, but I kept thinking, right, I've just got to be able to do this myself. I've had the career, I can do this myself, I've got the skills. That is not what coaching is about. It's not taking anything away from you as an individual. It's about speeding up the process and getting the knowledge you need in your business to make to create that lifestyle and that vision and those goals that you want. There will always be, in any business, there's an investment. There's an investment in yourself, there's an investment, it might be in stock, it might be in your knowledge, it might be in your learning. And you know, as entrepreneurs, it's something we have to deal with quite often, but it is about feeling that fear and doing it anyway. So we'll look at the competition. What would be the main factors to look at and how to measure it? So what we do, what I do with my clients is we work through who the competition is. We look at their range width. We look at their price points, all the different price points. We look at the product. We might look at the wider product, so a product might be a product range, or it might be a particular product. And we look at the value. What does that product do? What do they get? Why do the customers love it? Is it a packaging that does it? Is it a brand? Is it an ingredient? Is it a message? Is it a vibe? Is it a trend? And we weigh up all of that, Stephanie, to then start looking at the different measures of how we can then make something unique to us with our own products. Stacey, you're in giftware. Oh, there's so much opportunity, so much opportunity. You've got to look at it from the perspective of what do you bring to the table? What do you want your business to be? You know, what do you want your brand to be? Who are you going to serve? Getting really clear on that audience, because then it doesn't matter what's going on around you. You know, there's always going to be competition. There's always going to be products that people are launching. But when you get those first parts right to the business, then great things happen. Yeah, you're right, Tracy. You're launching you. You are launching you. You know, if you're in fitness, and it's about creating that brand. If you are prepared as a service-based entrepreneur to put out your classes, you are there to put out your nutrition plans, you're there to put out your coaching around fitness or well-being, then launching a product's no different. It's the same thing. You're giving them a service. It's understanding what service they want, what product they want, how they're going to use it, how's it going to benefit them, and understanding where else could they get that from, and why they're going to get it from you, and what's different. So yes, you absolutely are developing and creating and yourself. So looking at products, also getting a publishing one on Amazon too. Yeah, Amazon is again one of the things that I invested in. I invested in a high-end course to really understand the dynamics of Amazon, which is what I bring into my coaching. It's not the only thing, because I think it's important to have your own website and your own platform, but Amazon is an amazing tool, an amazing website, an amazing brand to be able to get in there. The key thing with Amazon is understanding how you can get ranked. It's understanding your product viability. So for example, if it was clothing, I wouldn't go on there with clothing straight away, because they're not known for it. They're actually doing a big campaign, and you know that might change, because they're literally taking over the world, aren't they? But there's other product categories where you could get in there and take a piece of the pie. Basically, you could get a piece of what's going on in there. So that's part of what we cover when we start to look at basically your branding, your website, and where you're going to start launching on. Oh, amazing, Denise. Amazing. How excited. Oh, that's fab. Yeah, we should all write books as well. Just different ones to you, Denise. Okay, I think that's everything, guys. So what I will do is I will be sending out the replay. I haven't announced the 2 spaces to my list yet. So if you want to work with me, if you want to go through the process and get that product launched and learn how to do it successfully so that you can do it time and time again in your business, then get booked with me. Come on, guys, book in a call, book in that free where I can share whether your product's going to work, because you know it's time to make a difference now. We're coming up to Christmas and 2018 is round the corner. It's time to really make a difference in your lives and think about what you want to do to make that difference. So no just feeling that fear and stopping. You've got to feel the fear and do it anyway. Is there anything else, guys? I've absolutely loved having you on. I've absolutely loved having all of the questions. I hope this has been useful for you all. I hope you can see now with the right processes how you can launch and how you can launch successfully. So before I sign off and go and enjoy some TV, yeah, there's payment plans as well, guys. So just pop me a message and I'll explain what that looks like. Some of you are asking about the payment plans. Some of you are asking about booking calls. On my website, you can go through Work With Me and you're able to book some discovery calls, or if you want to just inbox me directly, then you can do that as well, and we'll get something booked. So, and yes, there's only 2, yeah. Yes, Charlotte, there's only 2 spaces available. Like I say, I was going to do a course, but I want to keep it quite, I want to be able to work with everybody at this stage. Of course will come, but I want to be able to work with everybody at this stage because it's the way that we've been getting results. I want to keep doing that. So thank you. Great to see you on there, guys, and I will see you all very soon. Yes, I'll see one of you tomorrow as well. We've got something scheduled in, so yeah, I will see you tomorrow, Denise. And thanks, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. See you all soon.